So, morning once again. We'll discuss about some systems. We'll discuss about here there are like 3 systems. Then shall go to that side. We'll discuss about the other systems, mainly the muscles and the other systems. Then after here and there, you now you shift to Mr. Pio. Take you through the digestive system. So here we mainly have, how many systems do you see? Which organ do you see? Can you just raise a hand and you... The liver. The lungs. Any other? Esophagus. Respiratory systems. We have 3 systems. One is respiratory. Then the other is urinary. Then lastly is the circulatory system. If you ask a system, you want to ask the organs. Are you getting it? Yeah. Because organs make up the system. We mainly have 3 systems. So those systems, each system is made up of an organ. Are you getting it? For example, if we say urinary, we have what we call as the kidneys. And the kidneys, they're always 2. It is always one pair. Are you getting it? In all the species, either goats, sheep, porcine, they are always 2. The kidneys, we say that they differ in shape. In shape. If it was a goat, this would be more of a bean shape. It would be like a bean or a seed of a bean. But this is by you looking at the shape, you can determine which species is that. Are you getting it? Because this is a bovine has a kidney which is more of a lobe shape. These are what we mean as lobes. That's what we meant with the lobes. So in case you might be an assistant vet officer in your community. Then they bring a complaint that either Mr. Ben or so and so is either selling meat from dogs. Are you getting it? Those things occur. And it's you to intervene.
Mostly during quarantine.
Yes. So it's your role to come and intervene. When intervening, it means that you will be doing what we call comparative anatomy. You come to Mr. Ben's meat, then you see if it is a kidney, how does it look alike? Are you getting it? If you find a kidney is more of lobes, would you accept that it is selling dog meat? You can't. You can give them a justification that Mr. Ben sells bovine meat because the kidneys are long formed. Are you getting it? If they said maybe sells horse meat, you can tell them if it is a horse, it will be more of a hart. It shows your role as a technical person. Are you getting it? That's how it comes into be important. And with the kidney, we say that it is mainly under the urinary system. And within the kidneys, we have one major part, which is the nephron. You must go and refer to your field and see how does the nephron look like. Whereby it's just more like a funnel that proceeds. Are you getting it? And it helps in one role, mainly urine formation. The color of the kidney is always somehow brown. Are you getting it? Yeah. But when you look at this kidney, we have some patches. We have some patches. The patches, you mean like these other. Are you getting this? These are the patches. We call them hemorrhages. We call them hemorrhages. These are what we are calling as a hemorrhage. Hemorrhages are more like bloody spots. These hemorrhages are always found within various organs, and they indicate either could be sickness. Are you getting it? It means that if we found many hemorrhages, we could detect either it could be a disease. What we do when we are doing what we call as meat inspection, within the abattoir, they always inspect the organ, and then they say either it is fit for consumption or it's not fit for consumption. They can either condemn it totally or partially condemn, or they can pass it. There are 3 things. They can either condemn it partially, or they can condemn totally, or they can pass it for consumption. Are you getting it? Like this one, if it was totally healthy, if it had no hemorrhages, you could pass it for consumption. It means you have accepted people to go and eat. Are you getting it? But if it has some hemorrhages like this one, and they just some small parts, what you do, you partially condemn. You just cut those affected parts. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Then the good part you pass it. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Then if it was totally affected with hemorrhages, you just condemn. Condemn it means that you now throw it to either a pit or a disposal pit, then you can burn. It means that you're preventing the risks of somebody eating and getting some other diseases. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
It is the same with the liver. With the liver, you can also pass it or condemn or partially pass. Are you getting it? Depending on how it is affected. For the case of the liver, it will always have what we call liver flukes. You can look at the surface, then it has some holes. When you see that the holes are more, you just condemn. When you see that the holes are somehow few, you cut, then you pass the rest of the part. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
That is in the part of public toilet. So that's what you must know. The kidneys are basically always two. It is always a single pair. That is made up of lobes if it is this side. If it is for a pig, goat, and sheep, they are the same. They are same of being shaped. The same with humans and the same with poultry, chicken. They also have being shaped. That's part of the comparative anatomy with these kidneys. They are always covered with fats. They are always covered with fats. After I've opened, that's when you can cut and remove the fat. It can't just be like the way it is, the way you are seeing. It's always covered with the fat. That's all about that particular system, the urinary system. You find that from the kidneys, when you look at the structure, you always have some two kidneys, then you shall have the ureter. Are you getting it? Then it now goes to the gallbladder, then to the urethra. Are you getting it? Those would be now part of reproductive also. But this is what we can concentrate on. This is how it looks like when it is inside an animal. Then after I've cut the animal, we now call it as a carcass. Like the way we see that animal, the way it is now, it is a carcass. Carcass means we have avoided slaughter. It's not living. If it is inside a carcass or if it is inside the animal, this is how it's always covered with it. Is the parts. What we do, we try always to cut and remove this excess, so that it appears like that. That's done with this organ. And then the respiratory and cardiovascular. We find that these systems are always together. The respiratory and the cardiovascular are always together. When you look at the lungs, in between the lungs there is always the heart. That is how it is. In between the lungs, remember we have one pair of lungs. Right. One lung right, the other one is left. In between the two, there is a portion of the heart. Because when you look at the heart, it plays specifically like two roles: pumping blood around the body and pumping blood to the respiratory system. That's why these organs are always located together. Basically the lungs, then shall see how the heart is, but what you must know, those systems are almost together. Then from up we can see two tubes from up. We have this one which is somehow thick. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
This one is thick. This is now the trachea. Then we have this one which is in front, which is behind this one, which is the esophagus. It is more soft. Are you getting it? Yeah. That's why I say that these two organs are always running together. One is for food, one is the passage of air. The one of food is more soft. Then the one of air is more hard because of those cartilages. So then this side is where we have the heart.
The heart.
Are you getting it? Yeah. We shall try to open the heart later and we see how it is. But as we see, this is more of a sac. Can we see?
Yes.
That this is more of a sac. Because if you can't see, it is more of a sac. Inside the sac there is
a heart.
Inside is the heart, but you have a sac. And inside that sac there is always some liquid. It is more like water. That lubricates the heart, meaning that the heart is not affected. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
We have a disease that we call as heart water. Heart water comes. It is transmitted by those ticks.
Ticks.
But you find that that tick that transmits hot water is more beautiful. It has more colors. It has more colors. You find that it is not always common. It's not always common. But when you look at a tick which has more colors, red, green, like that mixed, it's what we call as amblyoma tick, and it spreads hot water. It doesn't cause what it spreads hot water. When an animal is affected with the hot water, you find that there's more water in the pericardial sac. This is the pericardial sac, that's where the heart is. Are you getting it? We shall discuss more about the heart. We shall proceed more with the heart. Then the lungs, we say that the lungs, there are two, the left and the right. They are made up of lobes. Like this one is a single lobe. This is also another lobe. And lastly, there is another lobe and the lobe. How you get it? Even this side we have lobes. But what you must know, the right lobe is always, the right lung is always large. We discussed all. You're saying small, you do opposite on 8. So when you look at the right is always large, then the left is always small. As we can see from here that the right has 4 lobes. While this one has 3 lobes, and it is always small. So ideally when you're doing meat inspection, then maybe you have seen the lung and you make maybe a report which lung was affected. It means that you will now come and use your anatomy. Which one was big? The right. I'll get it. Yes. Because everything is important. When you're making a report, maybe post-mortem, you must report what you saw. But if you report that maybe you saw a left lung being sick, but maybe it was the right, they will question your qualification. I'll get it. So where these lobes, we name them. Each lobe has its name. Are you getting it? Whereby say that the upper lobe is we call it as cranial lobe. Cranial means the upper lobe. Then we have that which is the middle one. For this case, we have always 2. The first 2, they make one is the cranial, then the other one is the caudal. Are you getting it? On the right, the upper one. One is cranial, the other one is the caudal. Then this one, which is now the second, is now because the intermediate lobe. Are you at par? Yeah. We call it intermediate or accessory lobe. Then lastly, this one down, which is big, we call it as caudal lobe or diaphragmatic lobe, because it's always near the diaphragm. Can I repeat? Yes. So that the right lung is always big, and it's than the left lung. Then it is made up of lobes. The upper lobe we have 2. Which one is the cranial lobe followed with the caudal lobe. They are making the first part. Then we have the intermediate lobe. Yeah. Then lastly is the caudal lobe. Caudal is the largest, the one down. Sometimes we call it as diaphragmatic lobe because it's always near the diaphragm. It almost sits near the diaphragm. Are you getting it? Yeah. Also, the same thing on the left. We have the cranial. Then we have our caudal lobe. Are you getting it? It has no intermediate lobe. That is how the lungs look like. Are you getting it? So when we proceed, we say that the color of the lobe is always of the lung is always pink. But when you see any variation in color, you suspect that as this. You can find that this lung is more whitish. Are you getting it? But it's supposed to be purely pink, as you see. So would you eat the lungs if they're in that condition? You can't eat. Then the other thing that you can see, some silence. The other thing that you can see, that the lung, we discussed that the lung is in cone from class. When you look at each lung, it's more of a cone. More of a cone. That's what you must know. Then we can speak of this trachea. They have not cut one, but we wish to cut. When you look at this trachea properly, are you seeing how I'm touching here? Yeah. It's somehow flexible, isn't it? Yeah. Unlike this side you can't touch. but here it is more oval. That's why we come up with the C shape. Are you getting it? That's why we come up with the C shape. Here it is more, you can cut like this, but here you can't cut. This hardy part is what they're calling as the cartilage. This hardy part is the cartilage. Then this other soft part is a muscle. Are you getting it? It is the C completed with a muscle. That muscle what we call as a M truncalis, the trachea muscle. Are you getting it? M truncalis. Then when we are done with that, remember it comes as a one tube, isn't it? It comes as one tube from up down somewhere there. Then when it reaches somewhere, now it divides, isn't it? When it divides, it goes into each lung, and it forms what we call the primary bronchi. And then the primary bronchi further divide into secondary bronchi, and each secondary bronchi has its lobes. When you look at this lobe, there is a secondary bronchi. When you look at this one, there is a secondary bronchi. Then inside the lobes further divides into tertiary lobes. It's now those tertiary lobes that's now we shall have our alveoli. You know alveoli? That's where gaseous exchange takes place. And inside the alveoli, there are more things that we can discuss about. There's also a fluid inside that we call as pneumocyte. One on pneumocyte, so there are cells that produce that fluid that helps not to close those particular alveoli. Then maybe a knife to cut the heart. So this is basically the heart. I don't know how those people got their funny shape of the heart. You know it. But this is how the heart looks.
Like this.
Like
We
yes.
shall do it like that.
That one looks different.
My boyfriend sent for me around.
They break it. That is yours. Yours is now in times 20. So we can proceed with the heart. The heart of these animals is in the same shape. It's always cone shape. We have the base and the apex. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
What varies is the size. When you look at the size of the heart of you, a human being, and that of a giraffe, it's totally different. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Same shape but different size. If you read about the heart of the giraffe, you find that it is almost 11 kilograms. Yes. If you have ever carried it, 10 liter jerrycan, it is more than 10 liter jerrycan. The heart of a giraffe. If it gives us like almost 40 hearts per person, a single heart.
But ours is very small.
So this heart is made up of some lines. They are more like roads. Are we seeing? These are the roads that are crossing. We call them as coronary artery. We call them as coronary artery. C-O-R-O-N-A-R-Y. Coronary artery. Artery means supplies, don't it?
Yeah.
It means that this heart has also muscles, don't it?
Yeah.
And those muscles have also to be supplied. So these arteries that we are seeing as coronary artery, they supply the heart. When you cook, you must serve yourself first, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the same thing with the heart. It also supplies itself first through those coronary arteries. Then we can see some holes, isn't it? Those holes, it's now where we discuss about the aorta, we discuss of pulmonary artery, the vena cava. Are you getting it? They are these ones. But now we must know which one is which. That is now your task, to know which one is which, if it is correct. So we can proceed with the heart. It's made up of 3 layers, isn't it? Outside, the middle, and then the last one. The outer one we call it as the pericardium. Because it is outside, it's near the pericardial sac. Are you getting it? That's how you can remember. Then the inner one we call it as myocardium. Myo means muscle. It means that because the inner layer, like Let me say inside here. This is what you're calling as the inside here is what you're calling as the myocardium. Then this layer outside, what you're calling as the pericardial muscle. Sac. Sorry, the pericardial layer, because it is near the pericardial sac. Are you getting it? Outside one that we are seeing outside is the pericardial layer, myocardium. Then lastly, the epicardium, which is now the innermost. We've got the 3 layers. Every heart has the 3 layers. Then the heart is made up of 2 sides, the right and the left. You can cut it. So when you proceed, this is how the heart has been. If you divide, when you divide, you can see something which are like, I think they are more like rocks. Then you can see some holes. Then there is also in between. Meaning when you have dissected it, we can see some myocardium properly. Are you getting it? Yes. Then we have some chambers. We have one down, one up. Sometimes you said we have one down, one up.
But we are not seeing.
Do you have eyes ready?
Eyes are here, but
you may be not seeing.
like they have ears.
They have to hold the hands.
Holes.
We have ears.
Their hands are in
proceed.
their hands.
When you look at it, has the different holes. Are you getting it? It has different. Those holes, they are more of chambers. We call them as chambers. We call them as chambers. So the heart has 2 sides. One is the right side and the left side. Which one is big? The right side is big. You don't need to see it. You have the theory already. So I've come to it today.
The left side is big.
The left side. This is the heart. Are you getting it? The way I am. Which side is big? The left is big. This side is the left. If you fail the primary, your left will be your right. Then this right side is small. Are you getting it? The right side, which is small, pumps blood only to the lungs. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Then the left side, which is big, pumps blood to the whole body. Then in between the sides is what we call as the septum. The septum, S-E-P-T-U-M. That is it. The septum. It divides those 2 sides, the right and the left side. Then the two chambers on each side. One is the atrium. Then the other one is the ventricle. Atrium is always up. Then the ventricle is down. Atrium up, ventricle down. When you bring 2 up, we can either call it atrium or atria. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Then what you must know with these sides, we spoke of things like those AV valves. The valves. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Each chamber, before you move from A to B, before you move from the ventricle to, before you move from atrium to ventricle is a valve, and that valve we call it as AV, atrioventricular valve or AV valve. It means that it separates those ones. Then these ones that we are seeing as ropes, we call them as papillary muscles. The papillary muscles. It means that it assists those chambers to be attached properly. Are you getting it? That's the major role. Then from your side, that this is, if this is the lung, if this is the heart, isn't it? Mm-hmm. The right and the left. The first thing, if this is your left and the right, and we have this, they have cut some, but we can still see. We have holes, or we have blood vessels that bring blood into the heart, and we have those that take away from the heart. The one that the one on the right, because the right is small, supplies the lungs and brings back from the lungs. So the one that comes from the lungs to the heart, what we call the pulmonary vein. Are you getting it?
Yes.
On the right is where we have the pulmonary vein. Then we have the aorta. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Then we also have the pulmonary artery, then the vena cava. The vena cava is on the left. And we said we have two vena cavas. Up is the superior vena cava or cranial vena cava. Then down is what we call as the caudal vena cava or inferior vena cava. The vena cava bring back blood. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
As blood enters, it will enter through, it will come to the vena cava, enter through the left atria, left ventricle, then it now goes to the lungs. Are you getting it? Then like that. That is how the heart is. Then a question about the heart. It's made up of two parts, the white part and the red part. The part we call it as the pulp. The white part we call it as white pulp. Pulp is P-U-L-P. Then the red part we call it as the red pulp. The red means it is associated with the blood. Are you getting it? We say that the spleen helps in destruction of red blood cells. Are you getting it? Red blood cells have a lifespan of 120 days. After 120 days, they have to be destructed. When they are destroyed mainly within the spleen, through where part you see the red pulp means there is a red blood cell and then blood. Then the white cells are associated with the lymph node, with the T and the B cells. Are you getting it? The white cells are mainly associated with the T and the B cells. And those T and B cells mainly assist in defense. Are you getting it? That's mainly the purpose of the spleen. It is not part of the digestive system. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
It's always part of the lymphatic system. Do you eat it? Later. Then, what system do we see on this carcass? Muscular system. Any other? We said we shall be raising the hand. We talk. Yes. Integumentary. Part of this part.
Yeah.
I was wondering. Then the other one is musculoskeletal. That's what we can see. So we discussed of the muscles. There are many muscles. These muscles, if you read in details, there's a way we name muscles depending on their function. Are you getting? We name a muscle depending on their function. When you go back and you try to read that assignment of naming muscles, find that some muscles are called maybe abductor muscle. Other muscles, it has a name, then it has a flexor muscle. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Flexor, it means it flexes. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Abductor comes towards. Are you getting it? Each muscle is named with its function. For example, I've said we have abductor muscles, we have flexor muscles, we have extensor muscles. Extensor meaning they extend. Are you getting it? So in case you see any muscle and you see a name related to either flexor, you know it does this particular role. If it is extensor, it extends. Then we also name muscles depending on the region. We have over 200 muscles, not region, over 200 muscles. That's why it's not always easy to understand all the muscles. These muscles, we name them depending on the role and the region. Just imagine, when you look at the shape, some are coming this side, others are coming. That's how they are. But so that when you inject, you must look at it, making your triangle, either at the gluteus or the neck region. That is all about it. Those muscles. You go and read more. Then the other part that we see is the skeletal system. And skeletal side of axis, which is not around, isn't it? They have moved the neck and the head. We say that the neck, we name it as a cervical. Anything that you say as cervical, they are referring to the neck. Here we only have now our appendicular skeleton, made up of mainly the ribs and then the other parts. Then we have the hind leg. First we call it as limb. Leg we call it as a limb, L-I-M-B. Then the forelimb. Forelimb is F-O-R-E-L-I-M-B. What you must know, which bones make up the forelimb, which bones make up behind the limb. Some bones would be the same, others would be different. For example, the pharynges. Pharynges, they are these ones. How do you call them in Ataso? With your fingers. The pharynges. So that is what you must know. Ibokol. So you have three. So those pharynges we are meaning these other parts. Are you getting it? The pharynges. The number of pharynges of those bones, they vary with the species. That's now we bring the differences. When some species has more pharynges, others have small pharynges. If you look at us and this one, which one has more? The human being has more. Are you getting it? This one has it less. The pharynges, the elastic parts. Then we have the tarsal and metatarsal. We also have the carpus and metacarpus. That was your assignment. Hope you, if you didn't do it, you go and read. Then we have the scapula and the femoral bone. Are you getting it?
Yes.
We have what we call as the radia and the ulna. Radia and the ulna. Then we also have the humerus. Those are bones that make up this side and that side. We also have the prominent bone is the scapula, the shoulder. Shoulder is called the scapula. If somebody squeezes your shoulder, you're squeezing your scapula. Then from the scapula, humerus, radia and ulna, then this side. Then this side you have the femoral, or the femur. Femur bone. Are we getting it? Then what you must know with the bones, we divide the bones into types. We have the short bone and the long bones. Short bone and long bone. For example, like if I say humerus, it is a long bone. If I say the femur bone is also long bone. Then if I say this is carpus, metacarpus, those are short bones. That's what you must know with types of bones. Then you must know the functions of the skeletal system. You'll see that each muscle is attached on the skeleton. Are you getting it?
Yes.
That is one role, one importance of the skeletal system. It's the attachment of the body. Each muscle, you can't find a muscle just in air. It must be attached on a bone. Then the other function is about locomotion. The bones assist in movement. Okay. Then the other thing, we can now go and just read out. We can go and read those systems in detail.